How often are you faced with a sudden danger or feel stress? And when this happens, what do you do? Do you fight or just run away in silence from that situation? I also asked this question many times to myself, and the honest answer is both. Sometimes I'm the most fearless fighter, and other times I prefer to step away. But I noticed a pattern. The things I tried to avoid kept coming back to my life until I learned to take a deep breath and deal with it. I've always been a curious person and an adventurous one. I've been interested in music, dancing, acting, anything related to body movement. In 2008, I started a new hobby, Argentina Tango, and it became a big passion for me. I traveled to Argentina 3 times, took classes from well-known teachers, practiced and danced almost every day with Turkish dancers and teachers for more than 5 years. Then, one day, me and my partner were asked to perform in a show. We started to practice more seriously and decided to take our chance in the Argentinian Tango Turkey Championship. This scared me to death. I got so stressed that I wasn't even able to dance properly after 3 months. We performed one show, but then my muscles became tense and my reaction was, I can't do it and I have to escape. So we decided not to join the championship that year. I struggled a lot and failed many times and almost stopped dancing. But then continued practicing, and several months later, with a new dance partner and the encouragement of my dear friends, we became 2015 Argentinian Tango Turkey Championship in adult category and performed in many shows. Another era started in my life when I started yoga, meditation, and other body awareness practices. These became my inner self-connecting devices for me. And traveling new places, exploring new cultures were not new things in my life. But the biggest dream I had was to be free to travel around the world. And I had a few opportunities in the past before, but I always found excuses, and perhaps I was afraid to do it. It was 2015, though, when I finally decided to pursue my dreams. I don't have a big family, except a brother, no husbands, no parents, no kids, not even a cat. But being a part of an active social life, having a steady job and a career, knowing your daily routines and all the other little things that kept me safe in my little life were not so easy to leave behind. But I told myself, I'll quit my job, sell my car, give away all my clothes and my furniture, detach from all my belongings, leave my comfort zone to dive into uncertainty. This scared me to death. Not to have a job or a house to live in. How would I survive? But I didn't allow my fears to win this time. I used breathing techniques and yoga practices to keep my mind away from what happened in the past and what will happen in the future. I told myself there's nothing to be afraid of. I trusted. And then it was June 2016 where I finally stepped into this path that I had and decided to quit my job and leave teaching position after 20 years. But I had no kids, no responsibilities, no attachments, no exact plans. Then I had a lot of challenges though, even physical ones. I had a terrible lower back pain 2 weeks before my journey. I could barely walk. And the first thing I signed up was a yoga teacher training program up in the Himalayan mountains in a small ashram for a month. Not a bad start. But I continued, and in September, I flew to Uttarkashi, India. The small village and the ashram was so simple, yet beautiful. And the yoga teacher training program was one of the most challenging. yet amazing experiences I've ever had. After that, I traveled around India for 6 months and met with many amazing people and travelers and spiritual teachers from all over the world, stayed in and visited some other ashrams, eco-villages, French towns, and made friends with many other people. Then, after 6 months, my fears turned into trust, and I felt like I could continue my journey. So I went to Thailand for a month to enjoy the beach and to practice more yoga. Then I moved on to South America, and I went to Brazil, where I stayed in a tent with local community for almost 2 months, near a national park surrounded by beautiful waterfalls. It was a deep experience of connecting to nature and living close with local people and the nature of this view. And living a simple life was also a big challenge, but yet helped me to understand what I really need and to be happy with. It's okay not to have what I don't have in life. Then it was Peru. I stayed there for almost a month and traveled around the country and stayed on a floating island on Lake Titicaca with local people. Then observed condors at 4,500 meters at an early sunrise, and sandboarded on dunes, and even then, of course, climbed up to Machu Picchu. During these times, I didn't only overcome some of my fears, but also practice acceptance towards myself and people who are different than me. Developed a better resilience towards sudden events, especially in India, where anything can go wrong at any time. So after a year, I came back to Turkey without knowing where to go next or what to do. A few days later, I received a phone call about a teaching position. I wasn't really thinking about going back teaching, but after all these experiences that changed me forever, I learned to trust my intuition. So I accepted the job. And for the last 2 years, I've been working in a great environment, and yes, I still have fears, but I'm happy to transform them to trust and love. This is a long path, and I keep telling myself, as long as I keep walking and searching for a meaningful life, it's okay to reach out for my dreams or leave them for a better time. These experiences changed me a lot. I feel gratitude more often, value myself, friends, family, nature, animals, much more. Accomplishing a goal I had for a long time gave me courage and made me more confident in life. Living a similar life with a different attitude, accumulating and consuming less, stepping away from greed, practicing spirituality in everyday situations are some of the things I gained from these experiences. And there is this little voice in me that says, you've done it once, you can do it again. You can make any dream you have come true. There is an Indian story. A man walks along a path at night. He sees a poisonous snake. He gets scared and turns and runs into the opposite direction. In the morning, he returns along the path again. He finds the coiled rope. He realizes that he mistook the coiled rope as the snake in darkness. In the dark, it's hard to see the reality as truly is. In the light of the day, we see things more clearly. So next time when you find yourself in darkness, turn on the light and look again. Maybe things aren't as scary as they appear. Thank you.